Over the years, I've had many different sizes of nano tanks. I've had them, I've broken them down, and I've loved them all. However, there are 3 specific aquarium sizes in the nano realm that I just don't break down. First of which is the 3.5 gallon. I actually love this size tank. It is a bookshelf tank, and that means that it's very long, and that provides a lot of swimming space. If you were to put in something that swims, maybe very, very tiny fish, like I've had the Heteranura formosa, the least killifish, but I really like this tank especially for keeping shrimp. It's a great size tank that can fit pretty much anywhere, and this tank was actually just put on the edge of a rack that had a very large tank, a 125, and there was just a little sliver of space, and it's just a great size tank. And I do love the long, kind of skinny version of this aquarium, and it's not big say a 10 gallon, 12 gallon, 16 gallon that may require 2 different filters. This is just a small little tank. One little tiny sponge filter works just fine, and it's great for a little stream biotope or something along those lines. I just find it really fun to scape, and just lots of interest that you can see. All the little critters, the little shrimp jumping around. I just love this particular tank, and especially since it's rimless, it just looks that much better. Second on my list is the 5 gallon tank, and this is my pick for a desk tank. So if you work from home, or if you just have a little office at home and you want to have a tank next to your desk, I think this is the perfect size. The footprint is only about 10 inches by 10 inches. It takes up very little space, but it's fun to put in. My choice would be a Betta. I always, ever since starting to work from home, I have always had a Betta in here, and it's just a great little coworker. Love it, and it's really nice to have a very small little simple scape. I usually don't go too elaborate in this aquascape. I typically have some Anubias, maybe currently I have some corkscrew val, just smaller plants, and even a little bit of leaf litter, and of course a little Betta. Now this tank that I currently have by my desk is a lifeguard tank, and I love it. It's elevated, it's rimless, it's beautiful. Just keep in mind, with any other kit tank, you may have to cover that outflow. It comes up pretty high for a Betta, like I do have here, some filter floss covering that to just slow down the flow. But I love this tank for at a desk. My last choice is, of course, I consider one of the ultimate nano tanks, and that is the maximum size, a 20 gallon. The 20 gallon long specifically, I really do love to aquascape, and generally speaking, most people do consider 20 gallons and less to be a nano tank size, and I really do love this aquarium size, and I frequently have multiple ones of these going. It took me a while, since as soon as I hopped into the nano tanks, I really liked tinier. Tinier was better, it was more fun, it was just cuter. But as the years have gone by, I really do absolutely have to have a 20 gallon because the choices are endless. Not only plant choices, you can have, I frequently have Anubias and Crypts, all different kinds, and they're kind of slow growers, so they do take a while to grow. But also Vallisneria, I will frequently put in these 20 gallons. And then of course the schools of fish, like these rummy nose rasboras, love them. There are so many different choices for stocking a 20 gallon long. You can have a school of fish like these green neons, my favorite fish, of course, and then I combine them with the magenta mystery snails. Highly recommend the combo if you're ever looking for something, because it's just an awesome combo. And there was just lots of space to grow out crypts and lots of room for all the fish to be swimming back and forth, but so many options for plants and for fish, and of course the school of fish, which I think the longer I get into hobbies, I do like a single species that I can watch school around in the tank. Just really, really fun. Not only can you have schools of fish and also different plants like Vallisneria or corkscrew val is really fun. You can watch it grow. Of course, you can kind of trim it if you do like, but you can kind of let it go a little crazy because you do have more size in this. The 20-gallon long is a nice footprint too. It's under 3 feet long. I think it's about 30 inches long and then 12 inches deep, so that footprint is not that huge, but you get lots of options. And even for aquascaping supplies, there was a very large rock in here that I was able to put in there, along with larger pieces of driftwood, and just so many options. And if you're considering a nano tank or getting into the aquarium hobby, maybe you don't have an aquarium yet and you're considering a smaller tank or a larger tank and you just don't know what to do, I consider a 20-gallon long a perfect size for a starter aquarium, because then you don't need to worry so much about water parameters in a tiny tank that can really fluctuate very quickly, like the first two that I gave you, the 3.5 or the 5-gallon. This may give you a little bit more options, and it's a great size tank, and especially if you love schooling fish like I do, you'll have lots of interest, and they'll have lots of interest zooming around the tank. Now I am curious, do you have a favorite, a go-to size aquarium that is your favorite, that is 20 gallons or less? If so, which one is it? Is it a larger tank like a 20-gallon, or is it a 5-gallon, or is there something in between that you absolutely love? Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.